Now. All right, what it do? What's up from the Primarily Speaking crew? I am your host, it's Mr. Prime. What's happening, fellas?
What's going on, man? And I am the Total Package Rex Deru. Back again, once again, with two of my favorite people in this world, two of my favorite fellas. Go ahead and introduce yourself, fellas.
Know what I'm talking about? It's Hannibal Vanderbilt, baby, and I'm a black man in America.
Listen, I need me a catchy intro like that too, man. This is plain old Teddy.
We have a very esteemed guest with us today, Mr. Teddy in the building. He's going to talk to us about a few things later on in the show, man. But welcome back, Teddy. This is the second time go around.
Second time, man. Happy to be back.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
For having me.
Everybody doing good on this fine Wednesday?
Yeah.
That's right.
It's all good, man. It's all good.
That's right. Had a good old hump day.
There we go. I done pulled some shit out. I done knocked some shit around. All right, we back. No mind the background. I got some things going on back there. Don't worry about that. Y'all see more than y'all need to be seen. But we're gonna have a great show today, fam. Great show. We had a very serious show last time. I wanted to introduce some fun stuff, but we still gonna stay on topic. We can't take our knee off their neck, man. Same way they did us. So I wanted to start with some announcements to see if anybody had anything they want to announce. Nope. Nobody?
No.
First. I'm going to be taking the CWP class on July 19th, hosted by my homeboy Earl, Geechee Black. Y'all might know him as Geechee Black on Facebook or whatever. He's hosting a concealed weapons permit class on July 19th. So y'all boy look for that on Facebook. Sign up, man. We need to get ourselves licensed and permitted, man, so we can be right out here, so we can't be caught slipping, man. So
we just need to be armed. That's all. We just need to be
armed. No. You gotta You gotta have that thing legally, dog. You gotta have it
armed in the right way.
When we telling people to go out there with the damn serial numbers scratched off shit, no.
That's a paper trail. That's a paper trail. That's all I got to say.
Man. We don't need that.
No, you gotta have something legit. You gotta have something legit on you to protect yourself.
Okay.
Damn right. Okay. Gotta get the papers, man.
Okay. Moving along, like you said, Prime. If anybody had any announcements, NASCAR has banned Confederate flags, y'all.
I saw that. That's
the Marine Corps also.
That's right. Bubba Wallace. Shout out to Bubba Wallace, my new favorite NASCAR driver right now. He did his thing. He got the flags ticking down.
Who was your favorite before him?
That's right. Huh?
Who was your favorite before him?
Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Oh, I'm about to say, you didn't even have no damn. I didn't think you had a favorite NASCAR driver.
You don't keep up with NASCAR, dog?
Don't come at me with that foolishness about NASCAR, because I need NASCAR. All-rounded. I'm well-rounded as far as sports. Well-rounded.
Why I need to keep up with NASCAR?
I just like NASCAR since I've been little.
Dog, I don't know, man. This shit competitive, dog. You going that fast around that damn track?
Yeah, 200 miles an hour.
I just want to say one thing. So as steeped in Southern heritage as NASCAR is, they are banning the Confederate flag.
That's right.
Damn right.
But your president is saying, hey, listen, I'm not even going to consider changing army bases.
None of that.
That's great, man. That's real.
We already know who in his pocket, man. That's why he don't want to get rid of it.
We already know who he is, so I ain't even surprised by that. I mean, but they'll get him taken down, but it'll be after he get out of office. So.
That's dope, though. I like that. That's good news. Any other announcements to throw out there? Nope.
Man, no, nothing really, man.
Let's jump right into this. Dabo Sweeney. Now, already, I don't like Dabo Sweeney because he's the enemy to me already. I'm a Gamecock, as y'all boy can see. I'm a motherfucking Gamecock. Oh, I put it the wrong way. So, fuck Clemson. I'm going to go ahead and say that first. But Dabo Sweeney, from what I understand, he's not even wearing a football Madden shirt. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Run the story to me, Ray. What happened, Ray? What happened with this shit?
Well, they was talking about him, first off, in 2017, one of his assistants apparently called one of the players a nigga. And he didn't get disciplined. He actually said it out his mouth, regardless of how he said it. He never got disciplined. So they kind of swept it under the rug. Years later, former players was talking about it or whatever. But the most important and pissed off thing for me is he's wearing this shirt that says football matters. And you know how I feel about that. Black Lives Matters is untouchable. I don't want to hear all lives matter. I don't want to hear blue lives matter. I don't want to hear none of that shit.
Right.
Black Lives Matter. That's it. He talking about football. Football matters. And we got Teddy right here. He's a Clemson fan. He
oh Lord. Oh man.
Oh, y'all ain't know that? Yeah.
You muted Teddy. Let me unmute you, brother.
Oh, no, I got it.
Go ahead. He know how his coaches. And and one thing I got to say before I give up. When I hear white dudes talking about their faith, I cringe and get nervous.
Really?
Because the main thing white people talk about is, as far as faith, is killing in the name of God.
That's
wow.
Talk about most of the time, though. Yeah.
That's a little extreme, right? That's a little extreme.
Well, don't bring it here. I didn't say it. They said it. Yeah, don't bring it here. I didn't originate that. They did that.
But that's your interpretation, though. But anyway.
Man, you know that's the truth, man.
Teddy, I want to hear what you got to say about this here. That's your coach.
Listen, as a Clemson fan, I am a Clemson fan. Always has been a Clemson fan, but I just know that area. I know the further I go up 26, the more conservative,
the redder it gets,
and the more strapped you need to be.
Yeah. Get out of there fast.
Man, what you got to say, Hannibal?
As far as I think he a dummy. I just think it's something about him. I could always tell it was something about him, but hearing the stuff come out, the former players come out, you got DeAndre Watson saying he don't want nothing to do with the school. He don't want to be associated with the school. He did his time there. He played there. That's it. Then you got Hopkins also.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not DeAndre Watson. Hey, my bad. Deshaun Watson and then DeAndre Hopkins. Hey, they both saying they don't want nothing to do with Clemson.
Damn.
And I'm pretty sure it's other players that don't want nothing to do with Clemson as well.
That's big because that's what get them in the NFL. They work at that school, got them in the NFL.
They work at that school, but I think it's more to do with interactions. You can kind of tell. You can kind of now a lot of players when they go to the NFL, some of them say the high school just to get a high school recognition. Some of them say they're high school, you know what I'm saying, just goofing off or whatever. Some of them say they're high school because they don't want nothing to do with their school. Maybe their school didn't have a good record or whatever while they were there. Or maybe something happened while they were there. They got in trouble or something. You don't really hear them say they schooled in. But a lot of the time is because they just don't want nothing to do with that program anymore. For interactions between them and coaches.
Let's not just think that this is just Clemson. I mean,
no. It's not a just Clemson thing. It's on Clemson now because
the same thing that goes on in Clemson, I'm sure goes on in places like Ole Miss, Alabama, and other places.
Wait, hold up.
Listen to this right quick, and I'll let you talk. Hold on one second.
I understand you against Teddy, but we don't do whataboutism on here.
No. Here's what I'm about to say.
Listen to what he got to say.
Listen to what I'm saying.
We know what goes on.
Hey, let's listen to him. Let's see what Teddy got to say.
The team will take on the surroundings of that city. Okay, so just like Detroit has always been known as a tough, gritty, fighting type team because that's the city. The Lakers has always been a flashy, scoring first real fast because that's LA. Clemson, Ole Miss, Alabama are going to take on the culture of that surrounding city.
True.
That's all I'm saying.
True. Now my whole take is I don't like people hijacking the Black Lives Matter moniker for anything. Because we when we was talking yesterday about how even NBA try to use basketball matters, and at the time,
and I don't like that shit.
Even though there wasn't nothing going on, like socially speaking, going on at the time that they did it, I didn't like it. I thought it was distasteful for them to be using that because that slogan is meant for Black people and the oppression that we've been dealing with from cops and systemic racism. So I think it needs to stay there. And I did say last night that I wouldn't see a problem with homosexual people using it or something like the LGBTQ plus
no,
whatever using it. But I talked to my wife about it. She opened my eyes. She was like, the problem with it is that Black Lives Matter don't need to be hijacked by nobody else. We talking about Black Lives, period. You know what I mean? Don't piggyback off of this movement. Start your own movement. Yeah. You know what I mean? And try to get your wins from your movement instead of our movement as a whole. You know what I mean? And I kind of agree with her. I still think there's something to say about oppressed people as far as using it, but I get what she's saying as far as hijacking the moniker and piggybacking off of what's really happening from this movement in and of itself. But that's my take on it.
Yeah.
Now, when I saw dog, no biting allowed. Period.
All right.
Nope.
So when I saw, people, just thinking from a different perspective, just coming, not really thinking from a different, just trying to shine a different light on everything. Now, once something gets popular and it's not trademarked, people are going to use it.
Oh, yeah.
For marketing. They're going to use it.
Yeah, so, don't make it right, though.
What I feel, as long as no organic living substance is being associated with, like, their lives matter, and it's just Black Lives Matter, because that's what it is. It's Black Lives Matter.
True.
I don't have organic, like, say somebody's trying, they come out with when they be saying that all lives matter. No. We didn't say all lives didn't matter. But we saying what's going on right now is Black Lives Matter. It's Black Lives Matter. And stop, saying, and just to say, just stop saying all lives matter. We know all lives matter, fool. We ain't fucking barbaric idiots. We smarter than y'all. So you know what I'm saying? Like we understand this. But for like inorganic substances, basketball, football, shit like that, they ain't a living thing.
You stay in their place.
I don't give a fuck about it. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't feel like it's mocking or none of that shit. It don't even hit as big. Because when it's Black Lives Matter, it's a whole movement, and you know that. Yeah. That right there, that's just a marketing thing or whatever. Like now,
basically, they need to stop stealing shit from black people.
What Dabo doing, it just seems like
he's trying to be funny.
And like he's trying to be funny, and it seems distasteful.
Yeah, I don't like that shit.
You know what I'm saying? Shit, yeah, it just seems distasteful. Like he's throwing shade to the movement.
Right, I get that part. Yeah, if it ain't an oppressed group of people, I don't think you should be using it, man. You about to say something, Rex, about that?
Yeah, I mean, y'all know my take. I don't think nobody.
Hear what Teddy got to say.
I don't think nobody should be doing that shit. Football matters, basketball matters, none of that shit. That should start off as Black Lives Matter. I get tired of people belittling our shit, and taking us.
No, they can't belittle our shit because our shit is bigger than that.
Teddy, what you gotta say on it, man?
I mean, it's not like saying we think Black lives are superior. Black lives are great. We just saying something simple as it just matter. Can we just all agree? Yeah. On a basic level, a life matter. I mean, because we feel like our lives is less than significant. So that's what
it always has been.
For you to have to come out and say, "Hey, listen, y'all do realize Black lives just matter."
Like the comedian said.
That's just ridiculous.
Simply saying. I get that. Yeah, I'm with that, man.
Let me ask y'all a question. How do y'all feel about, I mean, during this time, right, you have a whole lot of organizations and groups and higher up people as far as money coming out, speaking positively about what's going on. Like I saw, I think with Madison Square Garden, the Knicks and the Rangers all had a group statement that they're going to dedicate the season or do a tribute or something like that to George Floyd. And I'm like, is this how y'all really feel, or just, hey, listen, we just
it's not how they really feel.
Exactly.
But the person who brought up the idea to them really felt that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? The person who brought the idea to them, because you already know how it goes. They had those marketing. Somebody really felt that way, and they said that's what they wanted.
With the Knicks?
So is it about, hey, we just trying to make sure that we don't get protested against?
That's all it is.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Or do we want to say, hey, we want to make a difference?
Right. Yeah. It took that dude over a week to say something. The personnel in his offices was upset with him because they wanted to say something. He would not allow them to say nothing. I'm talking about James Dolan, the owner of the Knicks and the Rangers. and the Knicks.
I was dude that saying who was that saying the text to the player? That's something else, isn't it? That's a different coach, isn't it? No, that's the owner. James Dolan's the owner of the Knicks, right?
Right. And the
My bad. I've been thinking about the coach y'all boys telling me about the text thing. That's what I was talking about earlier. My bad. I really interrupt that.
That's Knicks.
Well, he did a clumsy segue, but go ahead, segue on him. Segue on him.
I don't remember the coach's name. I don't remember what the coach's name was.
All right, so what they're talking about is Mike Norvell down in Florida State.
There you go. That's
you know what I'm saying? That's who I root for. Also FAMU. Whatever, dog. We beat y'all last time.
You know what, man? Hannibal, we talked about this, Hannibal. We talked about this.
So this is what happened. Let me tell you what happened. So what happened was, I'll tell you the basics, and then I'll come back from what I read.
Go ahead,
man. Run through, man. Don't make it all
right. Sound like you on the BS. He already sound like you on the BS.
No. I'm not going to get it in. So what happened was, Mike Norvell did an interview with the Athletic with Tashawn Reed, and Tashawn Reed posted what Mike Norvell said in the interview. He said that he talked to everybody. One of the players came out and said that was a lie. Marvin Wilson. He came out. He said that's a lie. He stood up. He said none of the players would be going to any more workouts until this gets resolved.
So the issue was that he sent a text out to each individual player about whatever the verbiage was, but he didn't get a response back from all.
No, he did.
And that's when, even though he sent it out, that's why he said I talked to all of the players. You know what I mean? And that was he shouldn't have said he talked to all the players. Yeah. He should have just been like I communicated with most of them, or you know, because you send it out don't mean you communicate with them. You just send some shit out. No. And that was the whole controversy, right?
Yeah, that's what the whole controversy.
Yeah, because he lied.
He should have said, instead of saying everybody, he should have said most.
Right. But he ain't even talked to nobody though. He sent a text. He ain't talked to nobody.
Apparently, he's been sending video messages every Sunday. Every Sunday he sends a video message, and this time
every Sunday.
Every Sunday he sends a video message. Every Sunday he sends the players video message.
No.
Hold on. Every Sunday he sends them video messages. But when this happened,
you going into something else because it's only been 2 Sundays since this story popped off. So
whoa. This is since he took over. Every Sunday. This Sunday he didn't. He said
he talking about that though, Lonnie. We talking about he was supposed to saying. When he is supposed to be talking about the kids about Black Lives Matter. That's what we talking about, though. When all the protests started and popping off, whatever.
Okay, all right. I'm giving you that dialogue. You cut me off. What I'm saying, apparently, what he's been doing is every Sunday since he took over the school, he's been sending video messages. If he can't send a video message, he sends out a text. That particular Sunday, or whenever, it might not have been Sunday when he sent it, but he sent out a text to all the kids. Some of the kids responded back to him, and they had been having dialogue. But
y'all hear that? Y'all hear that? I'm so glad y'all can be a witness, though.
I'm just saying, I didn't see the lie. He just spoke.
I'm laughing because. Because there's a mixed message of a story we have in here, man. It's a mixed message.
No, okay.
I get it. Hannibal, you give a backstory on the why.
Yeah.
Wait, say that again, Rex.
I said he throwing Sunday services up there and everything. I don't know what's going on.
Well, what Hannibal doing is he giving the backstory as far as his track record for what he's been doing. And he just been, I guess, this new text message thing he just did recently, this is a part of something he normally does.
Yeah.
It just so happened to be, the subject was Black Lives Matter for the latest text. Is that right?
He put it out for every player to respond back to him. Not every player responded.
But the problem is that he just said he spoke to all the players, but he didn't speak to anybody He just sent
he
a text to
didn't even
everybody.
say he communicated. He said he communicated.
Communicated. He communicated.
Yeah, he
with all the players,
communicated.
but he didn't. Well, because he didn't get a response from everybody, he didn't really communicate with all the players. Now, Rex, you say if I remember correctly, you was like, that's bullshit. He should have talked to everybody one-on-one, like verbally talk to somebody one-on-one. That's what you saying, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's he's the head coach. When something like that pop off, most head coaches get their whole entire team
They
together.
still got to follow COVID protocol.
Let me get a minute. Oh yeah, I understand you can't round them boy up in the locker room and stuff and talk to them boy face to face. But even like you can run the Zoom or you can even call them boy. Don't go on an interview and act like you holier than thou and talk about I spoke to everybody individually and we had this idea about this, that, and the
He didn't
third,
say he spoke. He said he communicated.
Because I get tired of people jumping on TV and act like they holier than thou, acting like they're doing this and they're doing that when they really don't give a shit about the issue.
He didn't even get on TV, dog.
That's why I get tired of. And he flammed on the interview. He lied. He straight up lied.
He said he communicated with everybody. Where's the lie? He sent a text to everybody.
Man,
now, I personally think that because of the social distancing pandemic thing, it's not feasible for him to well, he could have called everybody. Let me take that back. He could have called he could have did that. You right, Rick. Rex, you right on that. He could have called everybody.
I feel like he should have called.
However, what he was doing was covering his bases by saying, I guess maybe he didn't have the time, whatever the fuck the reason is, but that's why he sent the text. Now, was that the best method to do that? Maybe not for this type of situation. If it was like just about football, maybe yeah. But for this particular situation, no, that wasn't the best way to do that. And he shouldn't have said he communicated with all the players. He shouldn't have said that on the internet.
But technically he did because he sent the communication out. So they were aware of it.
He should have said, I sent all the players a text. He shouldn't have said I communicated with all the players.
But technically, texting is a form of communication.
But if you understand that and you understand,
he knows why that sound is good.
Huh?
He knows saying I texted everybody doesn't sound as good as I talked to everybody.
Yeah, but
he said he didn't even say he talked. He said he communicated.
But you shouldn't want to sound good for something you didn't do.
Nah,
you know what I mean,
with Tashawn Reed.
I agree with you, Rex.
Yeah, what Tashawn Reed said he didn't even feel like it was a genuine thing. He said they just talked over the phone. They just talked over the phone. He let them know he was recording, and he just said he communicated with everybody. And what Tashawn Reed said when Wilson said it in Florida, but we come to find out when you do all the research, he really did. Most of the players either text him back or they called him.
I'm gonna say that was some flam. I'm gonna go on the record and say that was some flam. Only because for this particular situation, sending a text ain't the way to do that. You know what I mean? You should have had a conversation. You should have actually had a conversation to say I had a conversation with some people. That's how I feel about it, at least.
Yeah, he flammed just like Dabble. They flam.
Nah, he's not like Dabble.
You know what? You just holding them up because that's your coach, dog. Your team.
I ain't holding the man up. I ain't holding the man up because that's the coach. Nah, bro. I ain't holding because
that's all he doing, man. That's all he doing.
If it was like a Dabo situation,
you put them boy up like that. If they ain't in his team, man, you flam, man.
No. Because when it first came out, I was like, you got to fire that motherfucker. But then I saw everything that was laid out. I was like, well,
we gonna keep it pimping from that, man. We gonna keep it pimping from that, man.
No more FSU.
I want to jump on this damn town in Georgia, Toomsboro, Georgia. That's that's on sale for $1.7 million.
You about to hit that up right now, dog. We about to buy that shit.
I want to talk about that because that's a great purchase. However, the people in the town don't want you to change. Whoever buys it, they don't want them to change anything. They want it to stay the same. It's a country town, an old Georgia country town.
And the people don't want them to change it.
They want it to stay the same. They want this town to stay the same. Now, it would be a great, I would say like a utopia utopia type place for like, let's just hypothetically say black people collectively bought this place. That would be a great place for people to go, let's say, to learn farming and self-sufficiency, something like that. Those types of things, fishing and all that kind of hunting and stuff like that. But as far as a town to build, I don't know if that could be a town that, like you say, I'm gonna live here for the rest of my life.
I don't know how it looks. I mean, but if they talking about you gonna buy something, you can't change it, something that you bought, they gotta go.
You ever been to you ever see, when y'all boy go to Myrtle Beach, y'all go up 17, so y'all don't go the way I go. I go to this town. I go to this town on the way to Myrtle Beach, man, and that shit looks sad, man. To be honest, I don't want to live in a sad looking place, bro.
What's the name of the town?
This town here is cut off from everything, so I mean that's why it's dying down. Nobody's going there, has no life. So why would you want to buy something that's on the?
And another thing, they already got 700 people that live there, and it's only a little over 40 acres. That's not a lot of space for 700 people.
You might not have that. It might be like 400 and some people that live there.
But that 1.8 gives you like 30 something pieces of property, 30 parcels, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, I want to see what those parcels are. They're vacant land and there's something on it. But
yeah,
I'll pass on that. There's many other cities for sale around this country that might be a better option.
There's whole cities for sale like that.
Yeah.
God damn, I didn't know you could buy a city like that now.
Say this is the guy to talk to.
We're gonna double back. We're gonna double back on some property shit in a little bit. We're gonna double back on that. Yeah. I definitely want your take on some stuff. As a matter of fact, I got a question to ask you about some stuff, but we'll get to that later. All right. Next up, continuing on the Black Lives Matter type of line, this defunding the police thing. I know y'all hear about this all over the place, about people talking about defunding the police, blah, blah, blah. And what people don't understand about defunding the police is they're not saying disband the police. They're not saying get rid of the police. They're saying take some of the money that you're allocating to a police department and funnel that into the communities that they claim they need more police to protect, or whatever the fuck they want to call it. And I agree with that. I agree that the police departments don't need all that money, because the reason why they say they need more police because there's so much crime. They say the more police you got, crime should go down. The reason why crime is so high is because people don't have anything to do. They don't have a lot of opportunities in those areas. If you put the money in those areas, that will help them with schooling, that will help them with community activities, and things of that nature, so that people don't have to resort to crime so that you need the police. I think it's a good effort towards changing the way things are, because we got to do something different, right? We got to think about that. I want to hear from you, Rex, first.
Well, you already know what time it is with me. You got to take that money from them, because they don't need to be buying tanks, AK-47s, M16s, whatever, rocket launchers, all that crap. I mean, you can move that money to like mental health care, put some more pharmacies in the neighborhood, help people out, I mean, because sometimes you got to think about that. People got to travel far distances to get, medication. They need to have stuff convenient. So, I mean, it just makes sense to defund them with the way they acting. I mean, and then you see them out, they got the riot gear on, and they got the tanks, the heavy armored cars going down the street. I mean, snatch that from them, man. This ain't no movie. It's not a game.
Yeah, because, they have the New York Police Department gets $6 billion a year, man. That's too much.
It's ridiculous.
Hannibal, what you got to say? Knew you got to say something.
I feel like this. If you're gonna defund the police department, you need to put that into our school systems, because they need it.
Very much.
They need it bad.
Badly.
The educational system needs it bad. And you right, Rex. They need to put up some mental health facilities.
Yes.
Yeah, they really do, because that's the problem in a lot of our African American neighborhoods, a lot of deprived neighborhoods. that a lot of our people stay in. It's no mental health or nothing like that. And like more and more people now are realizing that that's a big part of life, and you got to get that taken care of. But they need to defund the police department. They can defund it. They can cut back some of those funds, and they can put that out. And a lot of these cities that's hurting, strapped for cash, they can really help these cities that need that cash. They need that money. I ain't gonna say cash. They need that money to take care of other things in the towns. Yeah.
You can say cash. You on Primarily Speaking. We talk real here.
That's damn right. Talk nothing but the real on here, man. What you got to say, Teddy?
I just want to piggyback up at Hannibal right there. I think it was, I'm gonna mess up the quote, but I think it was Frederick Douglass that says it's easier to train young children than it is to repair broken men.
That's a good quote.
I mean, we definitely need the education early, the training early, than to try to fix people that done had problems down the line. I mean, you know, it's a lot cheaper to be proactive than it is to be reactive.
Very true.
I spoke to a high-ranking police official here in Charleston just today, and he's all for defunding. He said because, you know, there's a lot of waste in any government situation. You see there's waste around there that could be cut and put toward better things. So I think the reason why we have this big debate, because it doesn't take a rocket science to see that we need this thing here, defunding and not dismantling or whatever they want to call it. But you have that police union or whatever that is that's very strong.
Yeah.
So they are, you know, trying to keep things as dead as just like they are, because they think they're gonna lose money or whatever have you. But that's the reason why that guy, what's his name, Chavin out there in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
After having so many bad marks on his record, is still in office because his police union is very strong.
Right.
The reason that guy who shot Tamir Rice is still working is because of his police union. I mean, the only reason he's not working now, and that's because he lied on his application, not because he shot a 12-year-old boy.
Ain't that something? Man.
And you know what? And I got something to piggyback off of that when you said about the disciplinary action. I really do think I sat here and I thought about it one day. They need to start recruiting for the police academy like they do the military. And they need to hold.
How you mean by that? What you mean by that? Recruit the way they do for the military?
You can't go into you can't go in. You gotta have your high school diploma, but you cannot go into the military with any record, dog. This ain't like late 90s, early 2000s when they were signing waivers to get people in because they needed bodies to go to war.
Yeah, because I'm about to say they've been shipping them in.
Yeah, they've been shipping them in. I know a lot of people that I went in with.
That one, though. I'm about to say, wait a minute now.
They had that waiver, but now you can't get in if you got a criminal record.
Oh, wow.
You got police officers that have criminal records.
Yeah, that's crazy.
They street thugs.
Yeah, exactly.
And I go ahead, my bad, Hannibal.
They need to start recruiting and discipline them like that. You got to hold them to a higher authority. That's simple to put. That'll put a lot of that out.
I saw something that said you need more hours of training to be a
cosmetologist.
A barber and a cosmetologist.
Right, that's true.
I'm about to say a cosmopolitan.
We don't want you to have no more of those. Why don't you go get a water? Water.
You need more hours to be a cosmetologist.
That on the shoulder.
to be a police officer. And that's fucked up, right? That's fucked up.
Crazy. That's crazy.
Somebody that fixes hair has to train way longer than somebody that has to carry a gun and protect community.
I agree with you, but let's just be honest. There's a lot of things that these people are doing. More training is not going to help. I mean, listen. If you ain't right within, I mean, just human decency. I mean, come on now. You kneeling on somebody's neck for 9 minutes? If I'm intentionally trying to strangle you, it only takes 4. But I'm kneeling on you, my whole body, on your neck for 9 minutes. You know that ain't
Oh,
right.
man.
And he's sitting there, and if you look, he's sitting there looking at the people holding the cameras around like, what?
He got his hand in the pocket.
Because he felt okay to do it. He felt okay to do that shit.
So good. He was enjoying it. He enjoyed it. It was all good. You know that.
That's the culture.
Just talking about that. What was the Earl Grey? What was the attorney name?
Earl Grey.
Earl Grey.
And he's an attorney for which one of the defendants? You remember which one?
One of the rookies.
The rookie, the one that's been there for a little bit.
Yeah. You repeat what the dude said. What the dude said?
Let me try to pull up the YouTube video. Man.
Please do.
It was terrible.
I told you, man, and I know y'all been wondering why I've been laughing so hard, dog. He was lubed up. I don't care what nobody said. He was good.
He's trying to save his client, man. He's trying to throw anything against the wall and see.
Even on that shoulder lean.
That monkey is on the shoulder.
That's right. Monkey on the shoulder.
I gotta hear what he had to say, man. Because the thing was, the attorney said some crazy shit about why what did he say again? You gotta tell me what he said. I forgot what he said.
He basically said, yeah, everybody was upset.
He did everything that he thought he was supposed to do, and he did more than that. He went into the ambulance, and he's the one that was doing CPR. He's a man of compassion. He's not a
police officer.
And I'd like to change the subject just once here to show you, because you are a lawyer, I'm a lawyer. Can you imagine the difficulty in getting my client a fair trial, the presumption of innocence, and an unbiased jury? When this mayor tonight, here's what he said. Mayor Frey said that George Floyd was murdered. That's what he said. By, he didn't say for, he said by one of our police officers. What kind of comment is that by any politician who has any semblance of fairness to give one of his employees, a police officer?
Counselor, first of all, he's a politician. All right, he's not doing the prosecution. It's going through the attorney general. But listen, you've got to deal with the optics of what we've been able to see. You and I probably have never seen a case where someone kneels on the throat of somebody as long as happened with George Floyd. Chauvin's attorney is going to have to answer for himself. But the reason I wanted you on here was to help people understand how something that looks so obviously wrong. Forget about training. You don't need training to be a human being.
Right.
Citizens weren't supposed to get involved. These officers were supposed to do what was right. And we know, you and I know, from all that we've seen.
I wish y'all could see his
minutes
facial
and minutes.
expression.
But this guy with his knee on his neck was wrong. But Counselor, I appreciate you being here to give us insight into what we haven't seen and heard and what is to come.
Just one real quick comment.
Here you go.
I heard your father give a speech over 50 years ago, and it was the best speech I ever heard. Just to let you know.
Counselor,
they ain't had a sound bite on this one. Dang, man.
Oh, man. What do you say, Rex? Let me hear what he said. What he said?
Cut that shit out the show.
He was like, yeah, everybody was so upset about what happened to Mr. Floyd, but they didn't do anything. They didn't intervene or anything, He said,
yeah, they should have did.
Hey, he
talk about the people who are not
civilians, right? He said the civilians didn't
jump in and help him. That's what he basically said. The civilians didn't jump in and help.
Right.
And his client was just following directions from the training officer.
See how he tried to help his client? He was the one doing CPR.
Man was pretty much dead by the time he got up off the ground, man.
Hell yeah.
Because the crowd, next time the crowd see the police doing some shit like that, they about to jump them cops, bro.
He was like, they should have jumped in. Gobble, turkey neck ass.
You don't need that.
That motherfucker head and shoulder, dog. That bitch is big as shit, too. That bitch ain't got no neck, dog.
Hey, I will tell y'all real quick. I'm going to tell y'all a story. It's a crazy story, right?
Uh-oh.
It's about a guy named Chad Daybell. Y'all heard the story about Chad Daybell?
No.
Chad Daybell is currently married to a woman named Lori Daybell. Now, Y'all gotta follow me through this web now. Follow me through this web.
Yeah,
Lori Vallow Daybell used to be married to a guy named Charles Vallow. Prior to that, she was married to a guy named Joseph Ryan. Now, she had a child with Joseph Ryan. She had 2 kids with Joseph Ryan. And then she divorced Joseph Ryan, got married to Charles Vallow. Then they adopted a little boy named JJ. There's a little girl named Ty Lee. That's the child she had with Joseph Ryan. Now, follow me now. Charles Vallow died in July of last year. And shortly after that, this guy named Chad Daybell met Miss Lori. And Chad's wife, Tammy Daybell, died in October. Then a couple of weeks later, Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow got married in Hawaii.
Right.
But the problem is that the 2 kids, JJ and Ty Lee, were missing ever since September of last year. And the grandparents started asking, well, where the children at? Where the kids at? And they wouldn't give no clear answer. They just make the kids are fine or they staying with a friend or whatever the case may be. Come to find out, the kids, they found remains, human remains on the property of Mr. Chad Daybell that are children remains. Now, the assumption is, I'm allegedly speaking, that these kids were killed. They are at least dead, at the very least.
So how long have they been dead for? A year?
Everybody seems to believe that they've been dead since September or October at the latest, or the earliest, I should say, October. But Charles Vallow, the husband of Lori Vallow, was killed by her brother Alex Cox. In self-defense, so he says. But then Alex Cox died of some weird cause or whatever. So now all these people died, and then right after that, these 2 got married, and they're supposed to be like members of some kind of doomsday cult or doomsday religion of some sort. And when all the authorities, everybody keep asking them about these kids, they just keep saying the kids are fine. But they go to Hawaii. They're from Idaho now, but they go to Hawaii to get married, and their kids aren't with them. Lori's kids aren't with them. But nobody knows where these kids are at. And it's a whole, if y'all look up the story about Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow Daybell, y'all would see the shit is so fucking crazy. Both of their husband and wife, previous husband and wife, were killed by natural causes. Now they done exhumed Chad's wife to go figure out what really happened, because I got notes, y'all, but I got notes and shit.
Was the brother in on it?
Two people died from these natural causes that they couldn't explain, and then right after these people died, they got married, and then they went off. Then the kids ended up missing, and they went off to Hawaii. And when their parents were looking for them, they went and hid in Hawaii. She got caught and extradited back to Idaho. And then they just arrested Chad yesterday. Yesterday or the day? Yesterday. Because they found the remains on his property. And that's some crazy shit.
That's some movie type shit right there.
That's some wild ass shit, bro. When I read that story, I say, God damn. It's some weird shit, man.
That's a white movie
for it sooner or later.
Why you do really weird shit, bro?
That's some white people shit.
People dying, kids missing, people getting poisoned, getting shot, all kind of fool up shit, man.
Yeah,
that shit was wild, man.
Yeah, that's gonna be a movie. That shit gonna be right on Lifetime.
I can already see that shit on Lifetime. We're gonna make a movie of that for sure.
Yeah.
That shit was wild when I read that story, man. I gotta share that with y'all, boy, man, so we can talk about that.
Yeah, that shit might be on the ID channel. I'm like, yeah.
Look it up. Y'all boys go look it up. Look up Chad Daybell. Y'all will see what I'm talking about. Y'all hear about this shit like back in December or January? The 2 kids.
That's why I asked you, was the brother in on it? Because it sound like something I had heard before. So.
No, the brother killed the husband, but he ended up dying from some unknown reason.
Okay.
The sister killed him.
Okay, yeah, I heard that. The brother, because the brother killed the husband.
Yeah.
And, okay, I heard that.
And he ended up dead like not too long after that. Like,
I think he killed a wife too.
No, he didn't kill the wife because the wife was his sister.
Okay.
And it just wild as fuck. Just wild. I just want to throw in something out the blue, something out of left field.
Yeah, that was out of left field too.
I know.
Wow.
I meant to do that.
Having a good one.
We gotta start doing more though. God damn.
Hey man, I'm just saying, this is some wild, crazy shit, man. Now, all right. So next, I want to talk about this because this to me is very important. This is serious. We talk serious shit right here. What y'all think about not celebrating July 4th?
Yes.
And instead, we celebrate June 19th instead.
Juneteenth. Yes.
Juneteenth.
Yeah.
Yes.
Jubilee Day.
Hold on. One quick thing before you get into that, because I know I got something to say. But did y'all see the first rally that your president's about to do is going to be on Juneteenth in Oklahoma, the place of the Oklahoma massacre?
Yeah, dog. I was gonna bring it up.
Go ahead.
I was gonna bring it up.
You serious?
That's what I haven't confirmed it, but that's
sweat. Look at that sweat, not this motherfucker. Goddamn.
That's what the talk is. But I mean, listen.
You serious?
You talk about
if it's gonna happen, this is gonna be the year. But you know, last year I knew they ain't gonna not celebrate July 4th and celebrate Juneteenth.
So wait a minute. So the president gonna have a rally on June 19th in Oklahoma.
In Oklahoma, Tulsa, Oklahoma, home of the Black Wall Street.
That they bombed, they destroy. And the government bomb destroy. I'm gonna say that. Let me say that.
No, ain't been no government bomb.
No.
Townspeople
went in there and they burnt that shit down.
I'm sorry, townspeople. I got it wrong. My bad. Wrong city. I think about Philadelphia. Was that Philadelphia?
Yeah, I'm gonna say you think about Philadelphia.
I think about Philadelphia. That's my fault. That's fucked up, man. But anyway, you know that's real fucked up. I don't like that. I don't like that at all, man. I don't. Yeah. I don't. When you say I think about it, I don't like it.
I think celebrate Juneteenth.
We all should do that. Now, my whole thing about it is that even though America or this country earned or gained their independence from England on July 4th, 1776, Black people were not free during that time.
I got you, dog. We
were still considered 3/5 of a man during that time. We weren't emancipated until January 1st, 1863.
Yeah.
1863. Now, June 19th, 1865 was when the word finally got to Galveston, Texas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But on July 4th, 1776, we weren't free. So I don't understand why we should be celebratory as far as Independence Day. We weren't fucking free.
Dog. Hey, and it took even longer than that because it was originally issued by Lincoln September 22nd, 1862.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think it was indoctrinated. Is that the right word? Mm-hmm. On January 1st, 1863.
We hope it's the right word.
I hope so. I hope it's the right word. Some people gonna burn me if it ain't. But anyway, yeah, that's we all got to say. Rex, I want to hear what you got to say about that shit.
I mean, you know, I'm all for it. I learned a long time ago we shouldn't have been celebrating the 4th of July. You know, so for this to come up now, especially during this time right now, is kind of perfect. And I think we need to kind of gravitate towards doing our own thing as far as celebratory shit and making things happen, man. So I'm all for it.
We've been making up holidays for things. We celebrate the 4th of July. We celebrate Columbus Day.
Are you really celebrating 4th of July or are you just happy to be off?
That's why
I don't lie. Every year, we've been having a 4th of July cookout every year for the past 6 years.
Yeah,
I mean, we've been having 4th of July cookout. And you know what I mean? Now I'm like, I gotta change that shit. I gotta change it to a different date. I can't do it. I just
been happy to be off, bro.
The reason for so many holidays have just been lost because it's a day off and a day to have a party. You know,
for the most part, yeah.
You know, Thanksgiving, you know, Easter, you know,
Now,
July, Labor Day.
Yeah.
My wife, she disagreed with me. She think we should definitely still celebrate July 4th because she said that at the end of the day, we still Americans. And while I see what she's saying, I just can't agree because on the date itself, we were not Americans. We Americans now, but we weren't considered Americans at the time. So why should we commemorate that date? I don't like it personally. I just don't like. I don't like the.
So do you feel like you're an American today?
I am an American. Wholeheartedly, I'm an American. I'm an African American. I was born in this country. My whole life has been in this country. But my ancestors who helped build this country were shitted on and weren't considered even a whole person on July 4th.
Right.
So I don't see why I should commemorate that. You know what I mean? And I'm guilty of doing it in the past. I'm not gonna act like I'm, holier than now. Like I wasn't around there with everybody else for the past 40 years of my life, celebrating that day. I have. But, when you know better, you should do better, right?
Exactly. There you go.
I'm gonna say this. I'm not celebrating whatever they want to call the Independence Day, the 4th of July. I'm not celebrating that. What I'm doing is I'm just happy to be the fuck off. And if I can go home and see my family, I'm gonna go home and see my family. I'm gonna take advantage because I got an extended day off. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
I'm not a day off. I don't think I'm a celebrate, man.
Now, no, because I'm not celebrating 4th of July. You know what I'm saying? Somebody else, they having food at their house. You know what I'm saying? I'll go eat with you or whatever. But like I say, I'm not celebrating the 4th of July.
All I know is on June 20th, I will be grilling out. Not June 19th, 20th. I'm relaxing on June 19th.
I will be in Georgia. I got to go home. You know what I'm saying?
Grilling out like a mug.
So we invited, brother?
You always invited, brother.
Oh, okay, because a couple of weeks ago you tell me, nigga, you can't come to this house, though.
We've lessened our stuff. There's still a decontamination process to get in this house. It's still that.
Relax the stance. Okay, I got it.
That's still in place. However, you are more than welcome to come, brother. More than welcome to come.
That's what's up. That's what I do.
That's in a week and a half.
Did y'all know that Juneteenth, they also have a flag for that?
Yeah. You got some shirts you gonna show up a little later, right?
Yeah, I got some shirts I'm gonna show off a little later. Actually, I'm gonna send that flag and see if I can get it put on the shirt by then.
Let me know, because I know somebody that put some shit on shirts. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel you.
All right, man. All right, so moving on. I think everybody has their spill or their feel on Juneteenth versus July 4th. Is that right?
Right.
Everybody got how they feel?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna take this moment now to double back to a segment that I want to call "How To."
New segment.
Earlier we were talking about the town of Toomsboro, Georgia, that's on sale for $1.7 million, a little over 40 acres, and blah 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 blah. But our main man Teddy here is a realtor, and Teddy got the scoop as far as land goes. And the first thing I want to ask you, Teddy, is about I apologize, everybody. The whole purpose of this segment is to bring people on that know how to do shit, and so they can tell us how to do it. You know what I mean? And we get to ask all the questions we want to ask about whatever that subject is. This subject is real estate. Purchasing a house or just purchasing land in and of itself, or even selling it. You know what I mean? Just land in general. So, Teddy, the question I want to ask you is the process of buying a home. A lot of people at this day and age are trying to get to that point. And I want you to tell the people as far as what that process is like, and what are the minimum requirements that people need to make sure they have before they even think about getting into that process.
All right, appreciate you having me on here, but buying a house is not difficult, okay? As long as you understand what's happening, okay? A lot of people think, you know, I can't do it, I'll never be able to do it, but once you start getting into it and taking the small steps, and you know, actually own a house, then you're like, oh, well, that was great. So the first thing you want to do is make sure your credit is together, okay? There are a lot of different types of loans. There's probably 4 or 5 that's most popular for
what's the minimum like credit score you think somebody should have?
Now, if you just need to get in a house tomorrow, there are lenders out there that can get you into a house with a 580 middle credit score.
Damn.
They'll look at all 3 scores, and whatever your middle one is, if it's a 580, you can get into an FHA loan. Now, I don't recommend people doing that. I would like you, there's more options for people with higher credit scores. Okay? So the further you above a 620 credit score, the less they're gonna get into your history. The more options that you have for different types of loans. There are no money down, you know, 100% financing type loans. The further you above a 620 credit score. Right. If you need to get into a house tomorrow, you have a 580 credit score. There's some other stuff, but that's about it.
Okay, go ahead. What about rent to own situations? A lot of people think I'm gonna rent it for now and then I'll pay towards owning it later.
I don't really like rent to own, okay? Because at the end of the day, you're still just renting, okay? Now, a lot of people who go out there and say they're rent to own, they're going to pay a security deposit. Excuse me, they're going to pay a down payment as opposed to a security deposit, okay? Big difference in those two. You know, you're probably going to pay a higher monthly rent doing that you are renting to own.
But does the money that the money you're spending during renting doesn't go towards the purchase of the house at all?
Sometimes it can, depending on how you set it up. A lot of times people will not set it up like that. But once you realize that over 50% of the people who get into a rent to own never buy the house, it's just a big money racket for the investor. The investor wins more times than not.
I didn't know the percentage was that high.
He'll turn right back around and do a rent to own to another person. He'll get another large down payment. And you know, if you leave the house, you don't get the down payment back, as opposed to a security deposit. You know, you can clear up your whatever damages you do, and then you get the remaining part back. Okay. So I just tell people, listen, if you like a house, go ahead and rent it for a while and make sure that you like the house, the area, so on and so forth. Once your credit is together, then ask the owner, you know, if he would mind selling it to you.
So let me ask you this: for somebody, this is a versus thing. Somebody with good credit versus somebody with bad credit. Now, when I say bad credit, we'll say 550 to 620, and then you got somebody with good credit. And when I say good, I mean 640 to 7. Okay. What's the time frame that they're looking at as far as what that process would be like? Or somebody who has bad credit has to wait much longer than somebody with good credit?
Once you get to a point that you are approved to purchase a house, okay, now however long it takes you to get approved, that's on you, okay? Normally, if you're that close to a 580, it's some minor things that you may be able to do to get you up to that point. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's just you have to wait until something falls off your credit. You know, if you say, hey, I had a late payment within the last 12 months for my rent or credit card or whatever have you, I'm going to have to wait 12 more months. So that'll cause that process to be longer.
So that's why they are approved. No, I was just saying that's why they tell you that. Okay.
Yeah, but once you are approved to purchase a house and you find that house, the process really takes about 30 to 45 days.
Oh, that's
to close on the house. Yeah.
Okay.
So you under contract, know that you probably be able to get into that house in another 30, 45 days. Some loans may be 60, but 30 to 45 days.
Now, what's the best kind of loan that somebody should try to buy into or get into?
It depends on your individual person. Okay. Now, if I'm a veteran I really like the VA loan. Okay. But I may not be a veteran. I might be a first-time home buyer with little money and low credit scores. I might be an FHA loan. Okay. Now, if I'm looking to be in, a rural area, a USDA loan may be the best thing for me. Okay. So
Well,
there's
I never heard of that one.
Yeah, there's about 5 different loans that's very popular for first-time home buyers, but that's not necessarily all the loans. Okay.
Okay.
Like the housing authority, the state housing authority just came out with a state housing loan. It's an FHA, which means 3.5% of the loan amount is required as a down payment. However, if you are a fireman, a police officer, a teacher, delivery driver, in some cases, grocery store worker, they will give you up to $10,000 to put toward a down payment and closing costs. So that could be, a way to get in the house with pretty much no money out of your pocket.
Damn, that's what's up.
That's all right. Now,
because I'm looking right now and I'm working on my credit.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I can use the VA, so I can use
give me some ice,
the VA loan.
please.
And just listening for other people that did it, they, my homegirl, she told me it took her a little time because she had to work on her credit. But she said they were real strict with using the VA loan. They was like, we know you can get it here. Like she said when she got the 620, they was like, let's get it a little higher so we can get you a better offer.
That's what I was going to ask. What's the ideal credit score?
Now, and that's why it's very important that this is a plug for real estate agents. That's what I am. This is why it's important to get with somebody who knows what's going on, who has a relationship with different lenders. Because I can go to ABC Mortgage Company and they say, hey, to do a VA loan, you need a 620. And I can go to XYZ Mortgage Company and they say to get a VA loan, you really don't need a score, or the score is a
Don't be mad at me.
600. You understand what I'm saying? So it will depend on the lender that you go to and whatever requirements that they have. So if you talk to a real estate agent, they can give you the best advice on your situation, on where the best thing for you to go.
All right, because I'm looking. I say I'll be there in a year or two. I'll be hitting Teddy up.
Yeah, if you're ready, just let me know.
Is this a good time in the market right now for purchasing a home?
Definitely. Rates are very low. Some scores, some lenders still have fairly low scores. Now, I will tell you, our inventory is very low, so there's not a lot to choose from. So please understand, if you're in certain price ranges, you will be bidding against other buyers for houses.
Right.
Okay.
Now, one thing I always wondered is there a certain area? When I say area, I mean like suburbs versus a downtown versus a country or whatever. There's a certain area that's always the better place to try to buy. I'm gonna say property, not even a house. I'm gonna say property.
Now, I mean, there are certain areas that will change depending on what's happening in that area. And the more people who are interested in that area and more people who are buying into that area will cause the appreciation to go up faster. Okay. We're not building any more land. So land is going to continually appreciate on its own. Okay.
Of course.
The more people who are buying into an area, the faster it will. Okay. So let's just say downtown. They're doing a lot of building downtown Charleston. So the price of the land is very expensive. Homes are very expensive, compared to Cross, South Carolina.
Right.
Where it's not as much people moving to the area. Now, Cross is still busy because you have people who love to be next to the water. And there's a big lake right there in Cross. So a lot of recreational activities going on there.
Because I remember when we was talking about the town of Toomsboro, and $1.7 million for a little over 40 acres. But they said that same price can get you a 765 square foot apartment in New York.
In New York. And that's just to show you.
That's no
765 square feet versus 40 acres.
Well, that's a studio apartment too. It's a studio
Wait a
apartment.
minute,
Right.
Right. You probably. Oh, that's ridiculous.
That is
man.
my last apartment was fucking 1,100 square feet or some shit like that. Like that's
My little matchbox here bigger than that.
that's still 765 square feet. That's crazy. But it's about demand, right? That's what it's about, demand.
It's all about demand, you know. I mean, you know, I can move from, you know, Ohio, you know, and sell my little small starter home and come here to some areas, not all areas of South Carolina.
Not all areas.
And buy something cash and, you know, have money to live off for a little while. So it all depends on demand.
I would suggest anybody that's over the age of 30 should go ahead and start looking at buying a house, man, because it's a liberating feeling. You know what I mean? It's very cool to have your shit. Nah, don't get me wrong. Having a house is a lot of fucking work.
That shit's work because it's on you now.
Historically, from the beginning of this country, home ownership has been the foundation of wealth. Okay?
Home ownership, foundation of wealth, and that's what we need to build. We need to be building that, man.
Right. So if you're not talking about building, if you're talking about, you know, retiring and this, because retirement is a financial number, not an age. Okay. So if you're talking about, hey, listen, I want to retire one day, live out. You're not going to do it renting. You got to do the basics.
Yeah, cool. That's why I say I want to get a house. I set a time frame for myself because I had to clear some stuff up, and I'm still clearing up a little bit of stuff. I know some stuff gonna fall off in the next year or two, so you know what I'm saying. Like I'm taking care, and then some stuff I'm taking care of. Yeah, and I was like, I gotta get, you know what I'm saying, like retiring, get to the retirement age. I kind of already did some things to make sure that I was gonna be good later on. You know what I'm saying, to take care of myself. Also, you know what I'm saying, putting into like a thrift savings plan, or whatever, just to have something extra on top of what I'm gonna have coming in already. So
y'all do me a favor. Y'all do me one favor, man. I gotta pause real fast.
Oh God!
Hold on 1 second, man.
I gotta say something to Hannibal here, just why we think.
Go ahead and say it.
All right, but you know, I'm gonna use you as an example. Okay, so what I tell people in a situation like you, go ahead and talk to somebody now. Okay, you may know, hey, I got work to do. I know I gotta do this. I gotta do that. Whatever have you. That may be the case, but you know, let's talk to a lender now. This is the person with the money who's going to lend it to you. So find out what he's looking for, and then now when you work on those things. So you're not, you know, wasting energy, you know, paying this down by closing this out, whatever have you.
The thing that got me, because I just had to buy a car. You know what I'm saying? Right. I just had to buy a car. And one of the dumbest things that I did was I cut off a credit card that I had. I turned it off, and I should have never did that because that was a line of credit for myself. Oh, I'm glad I'm talking to you about this. I forgot I got to go do something. Somebody told me to do something that could boost my credit up using it as a line of credit, and it's simple. I'm glad I'm talking to you right now about this. Yeah, I'm going to go do that, you know what I'm saying? Because I got me a credit card now, you know what I'm saying? The unfortunate thing was I had to buy this car, and I didn't want to buy a have right now. I ain't want to buy a car until next year. Right. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to wait. I wanted to do some stuff, even though I ain't have to put a big down payment on the car. I still had to buy a car, and I ain't want to do that right now.
Gotcha. That's
sorry about that, y'all.
That'll help your credit score, but it's definitely going to hurt the amount of house you can purchase.
That's why I said I'm gonna pay it, and then next year I'm gonna refinance it.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
You know, we'll sit and talk offline a little bit more in detail. We'll sit down and put a game plan together when you're ready.
Because you know who I talked to, so okay. She was like, He's like, yeah, we got to talk to Teddy.
Exactly.
He's the man. Teddy's the man.
Remind me to go and put a little extra thank you in their basket this month right here.
Hey man,
no, we got to talk to Teddy, baby. We going to Teddy.
Right.
I was like,
That's
all right.
right.
Teddy, man, I really appreciate the info, man. Is there any information you think people need, like they really need to know this before they get into that process?
Information is possible. I mean, listen, we as real estate agents, lenders, whatever, we have no problem, sitting down and talking. Well, the majority of us, I know I don't. I have no problem, taking an hour and say, hey, listen, here are the different types of loans. Here's the process. Here's the money that you will need. Here's when you're going to need that money. It's all about educating, So the more educated you are, the better it is going to be for me. The easier it's going to be for me to get you to your end goal.
You want to give the people some contact information in case they have some questions?
Sure, I'd be happy to. Email address is theodore.nelson@agentowned.com. AGENTOWNED.com. Telephone number 843-743-8028. Give me a call. Right. Let me know. I mean, we'll set up a time. I can do it virtually or online. If you're in different cities, I can do it face to face. Just give me an hour.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. I appreciate that, man. Thank you for lending us your knowledge and making yourself available.
For TPT.
What? What you say?
Go listen. Don't listen to him. That monkey on his man.
Ask for TPT.
TPT.
Yeah. You know what that is.
I don't know what that nickname came from, man. I don't know where that nickname came from.
Oh, you know, though. You know. Come on now.
All right, now we're gonna wrap this thing up soon. But before we get out here, man, Hannibal, you got some stuff you want to shout out, right?
Yeah. All right. So if you can, everybody out there, Alan Campbell, who happens to be my cousin, he works out in Atlanta. He has a non-funded, what is it? Non-profit. Yeah, non-profit. Hey, don't mind me, man. I'm getting old, man.
It's on your shoulders.
I'm getting old, man. That workout got me.
That's what it is.
Yeah. All right. So his non-profit organization is Knowledge. Hold on, let me make sure, because his knowledge is spelled with an N.
Get it right.
OLIJ.
Wait, say that shit again?
Yeah, I thought
it's knowledge, but it's NOLIJ. It's Knowledge Foundation Incorporated.
Okay, NOLIJ, Knowledge Foundation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Knowledge Foundation Incorporated.org. If you would like to donate, you could donate $1, $5. It's no set mark on what you need to donate.
What is this nonprofit about, though?
All right, so the nonprofit is basically about education, getting those kids who don't have the money for college. He usually does it down in our hometown of Thomasville, Georgia. He gets one female, one male. They donate the Wallace Campbell Scholarship to them.
Okay.
I think it's $25,000.
Okay.
Or whatever.
That's what's up.
So they donate that scholarship to them, and that's what he's been using it for. He also has study halls. They get equipment. They have teachers come in. They help the youth, prepare for school, help them with their homework and all of that. Just tutors and everything like that.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Y'all boy holler at them. Knowledge
Foundation Incorporated.
Foundation.org, and that's NOLIJ Foundation.org.
Well, Foundation Inc.org.
Inc. Oh, sorry. Knowledge Foundation Inc.org. Yes.
Yeah.
Check them out.
That's how we do
Well,
it.
listen, if that's the case, let me put in the plug. Can I put in the plug too?
Go right ahead, my
Plug
brother.
it in, dog.
Well, listen, I
He already done get one. He already done get one plug.
Come on, man. Come on. This for the kids. This for the kids.
Go ahead, man.
All right. So listen, I have a nonprofit as well, 501c3 program for 11th and 12th grade males. Okay, so no age requirement. It's 11th and 12th grade. It's a leadership program. It's 7 months long. We start in August and we go to March. Every other Sunday we meet for 4 hours, and it's a different topic: preparing for college, entrepreneurship, public speaking. It's a different topic every time we meet. We have a good time. We normally take a trip to visit a school, a college campus, give them a chance to see what's next. If it's college, if it's military, is it going straight to a job, a 9 to 5? But we talk about manhood, all kind of stuff, man. So I mean,
and what's the name of the place again?
Scholarships involved as well too, and the name of the program is called, The Passage Inc. PASSAGEINC. The Passage Inc. We're on Facebook. We're on Facebook. We have a website. We're taking applications now. If you got any questions, go to our website. Go to our Facebook page. Send me a message. And
what's the website name?
ThePassageInc.org.
Passage, The Passage Inc. or just Passage Inc?
Passage Inc.
ThePassageInc.org.
Yeah, we're on Facebook as well. So, check us out on Facebook. There's some pictures of some past experiences and stuff that we've done. But at the end of our program, we have a black tie affair, sit down dinner, and then we kind of showcase everything that we've learned during that year.
Nice. I like it. I like both of those, man. Y'all boy, check out both of those nonprofit organizations, ThePassageInc.org and KnowledgeFoundationInc.org. Check them out, man. We the purpose, man. Support black, shop black, everything black.
That's right, baby. Shop black, baby. Shop black.
I like, show that shirt, man. What's this? Uncaged Beast, right? Uncaged Beast. I like that shirt. Yeah. I need to cop me one of those, man. So
all right, if you want to get this shirt, I don't know if you have an Etsy account. Maybe your wife does. Maybe your sister does. Everybody, I would like for you to go to blacklovecreationsus.etsy.com. You can go there. They have a number of different designs. If you want to get something custom made, you can even send them the picture of what you want, and they can try to get that done for you.
That's what's up, man.
That's blacklovecreationsus.etsy.com.
Good. I like it. I love this shit. I love this, man. We motherfucking what they call it, synergy. I love this shit, man. I love it, man.
That's right.
Y'all boy, hey, that's it, man. Y'all boy got anything else y'all want to shout out, talk about, blah blah blah?
Terry Crews, hit him right. Hit him Rex.
Sit your ass down, Terry.
Sit your ass down, Terry Crews. What Terry Crews did this time, man?
Man, he is such a buster. Hey, Hannibal, go ahead and tell him what happened, man.
Man, he a Sam Boat. All right, but this what happened. So Terry Crews, he says, "Hey, we have to be careful about what we're doing now because it's just gonna lead to black supremacy." Nigga, what?
What the fuck is black supremacy? Is that even possible?
Shut up.
Is it even possible for there to be black supremacy?
Oh, man.
Hey, baby, now you understand why I tell him to sit his ass down.
We are only 13% of the population. We cannot prevent anybody else from doing shit in this country.
We just trying to fight now just to say that we matter.
Yeah.
Talking about black supremacy.
Hey, we can't even matter, dog.
We can't even matter.
Hey, what we gonna do? Exist? Like the comedian said?
I say Terry Crews been a buster a long time ago, dog. He's a buster, dog.
Yeah, he need to sit his ass down with that shit, that dumb shit, man. I don't even got no sit your ass down, man. Terry Crews. I don't have. You know what? I lied. I had one. I can't remember the bitch name. I mean, that's it. The lady name, the chick name.
You want me to give you one? You want me to give one?
I have one.
Show it to me.
Tell Dabo Sweeney.
Oh, that was yeah. Clemson already get the middle finger from me, so that's a given.
I don't like him either, dog. I don't like him either.
Y'all see that right there?
Hey, Rex, like they say, they don't boo nobodies.
Y'all just start winning, dog. Y'all just start winning.
They don't go nobody. Hey, one last thing here. One last thing there is but I want to know why our state senator, U.S. Senator, Tim Scott is saying, hey, listen, yeah. Tim Scott got me burning. He was like, listen, y'all don't want me to get out here and start talking about how I was racially profiled, I was pulled over, how I was not led.
I don't believe you. You need more people.
But the time now was you to come out and actually voice those things. He letting the senator from Utah get out here and do more protesting than
man, fuck Tim Scott, man.
So I mean,
Tim Scott is a coon. Fuck Tim Scott.
Sit your ass down.
Fuck Tim Scott.
He got Mitt Romney out here doing more than him, man. Come on,
That's retarded.
Hey, the man wanted to kill Big Bird. Now he out here protesting and whatever. Hey, come on.
Shameful. I ain't got no love for him, man.
That's how you go down now, primary speaking, Prime. That's how you
go. Fuck Tim Scott. That's how you go on primary speaking. Yeah, that's why I say it. That's why I say it. Nobody else gotta say that. I say that.
We dig that.
Hey, and watch y'all favorite actors. Hey, Michael B. Jordan gave a compelling speech.
No, I'm gonna stop you right there. Hannibal. I don't give a fuck what actors got to say or do. This ain't got nothing to do with celebrity shit. This is black people in general. Like celebrities, I don't give a damn what they got to say. They don't change nothing. I care what the people in power got to say. That's what I care about. You know what I mean? The people that actually make a difference as far as us as a culture moving forward. I don't give a fuck about them damn celebrities, man. They don't control anything.
That's why it's so important to vote.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, man. Vote.
You just cut me off though.
You know what else?
My bad. I felt real passionate about what I had to say this now. My bad.
I'm glad you said that. Hey, Prime, you know who else need to sit their ass down? The whole state of Georgia.
Before you say that,
what they did Tuesday was shameful.
I want Hannibal to finish this point.
Now, what I was saying is, man, y'all be careful who y'all following or whatever. You got these actors out here. You got some out here that's saying something. You got some out here, they mouth quiet. They shut. Why? Because they scared to stand up and they try to fight with you, march with you. They think they above you or they can't.
They won't lose their money. They lose their money part.
So be careful who y'all following and out there. That's what I was trying to say, man.
My bad.
You got all on that.
Damn, man.
You got all on that.
I was thinking
He was very passionate about what he was thinking.
Fuck those celebrities, man. Fuck the celebrities. It's all love, man. You already know, man. What you were saying, my bad, Rick. You were saying, so a number, somebody else. Fuck, man, I don't know. You know what? Let's just go ahead and end this.
Yeah, you know what? I'm telling you, dog. The monkey on his shoulder bad.
Yeah,
monkey boy. Hey, that monkey bad, dog. That monkey shoulder. I promoting that bitch. They ain't paying me. I just promoting it. That's all.
Hey, promote it hard enough. Maybe we get some more subscribers. We can go ahead.
Fantastic show, fellas. Fantastic.
Man, y'all boys got anything else y'all want to go ahead and lay on the table? Put it on the table.
Hey, man, I'm waiting on your girl to post the menu so I can get some of that food.
Yeah, man. Chef T, Tara Clay, man. Holler at her, man. She got that great food, man. Matter of fact, she did put something up. You gotta go check, man. Go look.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and cash out for the money.
Better go look, my brother. Yep. All right, fellas, man. This has been another episode of Primarily Speaking. You know how we do, man. We keep it real. We keep it funky, man. We don't hold no punches on here, man. Holler at us, man. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. Primarily Speaking. PRIMERILY Speaking. No spaces, underscores, or dashes. We out here, man. Drop your 2 cents. Let us know what you think, man. Till next time. We would love to thank our guest Teddy for joining us once again, man. We appreciate all the knowledge on the real estate, things of that nature, man.
Appreciate you having me.
Much appreciated, man. Always welcome to be on whenever you want to, man. You got any other knowledge to share? Share it, shit. But until then.
Wait a minute, hold up.
Oh, what? What's up next?
Hey, Teddy. Clemson sucks.
I like that. Fuck
Yeah. It's 3-1.
country, baby. Deuces.